Hey, Christina,
Hey, Susan.
let's build a confidence interval.
Yeah, let's do it for a mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is for a
Right.
population mean. I forget to say that a lot of times and forget to
Oh,
remind them. We're building a confidence interval about a population mean.
yeah. We want to estimate mu and say that it is between, um, yeah, our sample mean minus a margin of error and our sample mean plus our margin of error. So our
Okay.
sample mean is our point estimate here.
Mhm.
Yeah. So this example says randomly selected statistics students participated in an experiment to test their ability to determine when 1 minute or 60 seconds had passed. 40 students yielded a sample mean of 58.3 seconds and a sample standard deviation of 8.4 seconds.
Okay. Well, we're cleared to do this problem because we have 40 students in our sample, and that's greater
Right.
than 30. So we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
it
we
doesn't
have
matter.
a sample mean. So X bar is 58.3.
Yeah. So I'm going to write down n equals 40.
Okay.
And our X bar, you said, is 58.3.
Yeah.
And what's our sample
S
standard
is
deviation?
8.4.
8.4. And that is the information, excuse me, that's the information that we are going to put into our T-stats one sample with summary
Okay,
to find the confidence interval.
perfect. Let's do it.
Yeah. So let's do that in StatCrunch so they can see what it looks like. And there we go. Okay. Don't worry about this data that's in here. We're going to use that in a minute.
We're not going to tell you how many times we had to type it in.
But we're going to go to T-stats. Okay. One sample with summary.
Mhm.
Right.
I
And
don't
then,
have that. Yeah, I don't have that information in front of me anymore.
oh, it's okay. I remember.
Okay, good.
So then we
Oh,
can put in our information that we got from the problem. So the sample mean was 58.3. Oh, that didn't.
that
Let's try that
point.
again. Okay. And then the sample standard deviation was 8.4,
Okay.
and the sample size was 40.
Yep.
Mhm. And then I'm going to do a confidence interval.
Yes. And what was our confidence level?
That's a good question. I think it was 95. 95.
Okie doke.
Okay. 95. So I don't need to change that.
No. Let's click critical value.
Show critical value.
Yeah.
Good. And you can also look at a confidence interval plot, but I'm not going to hit that this time.
Okay.
All right. So when we hit compute, then we can get those results.
Okay.
Okay. So we can see our sample mean was 58.3. Our degrees of freedom, 39, if we needed
Oh
that.
yeah. Yeah.
We've got our critical T,
Hmm.
and then the lower limit and the upper limit. So the lower limit and the upper limit are what will define our confidence interval,
Right.
right? So that lower limit would be like one end of the confidence interval, and then the upper limit would be the other end,
Hmm.
right?
And then the point estimate's right in the middle.
Right.
So our point estimate, let's start with it. Our point estimate is 58.3. That was our sample mean.
Yep.
Our lower limit is 55.61. You want to go two places? Which one? And then our upper limit is 60.99.
Right.
So there's our confidence interval.
Right. And so we're saying we are 95% confident the true mean for all students is between 55.61 and 60.99 seconds.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
So
so
each
then I like
one,
this. I like this next question. Based on these
yeah.
results, does it seem like the students are reasonably close to 1 minute? Well, 1 minute is 60 seconds, and 60 seconds is in our interval.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it does seem reasonable.
Yeah. Good. I think there's one more question that goes along with this, and that
Oh, yeah.
is to identify the margin of error and point estimate. So we've got
Okay.
the confidence interval here again. And just a reminder, the point estimate is the sample mean, X bar.
Hmm.
And so that's 58.3 seconds.
That was
Right,
quick. We got that one.
got that one. And then for the margin of error, there's two different ways that you could find that. Um, you could use that formula that we have used in the last section where you take, um, oops, where you take the width of the interval. So you take your upper limit minus your lower limit
Okay.
and divide by 2.
Yeah.
And so doing that, I get 2.69 seconds for the margin of error. Or since I have my critical value up here, I could use the formula for margin of error, which is the critical value times the standard deviation divided by the square root of n,
Right.
and I would get the same thing. So
Okay.
either way, I get that margin of error is 2.69 seconds.
Can we draw the line just real quickly, just one time? We won't do it every time, but can we draw that number line again
Yeah,
and mark the 55.61
yeah.
and mark the 60.99?
Mm-hmm.
And then just show that the margin of error is we subtracted and added 2.69.
Yeah,
That's why finding the width of the interval and dividing it in half gives you the margin of error, because
yeah,
there's two margins of error in that width.
yeah.
Okay, good.
Good, good. All right, so I'm gonna skip the next example. It's another, using t-stats, one sample with summary. Okay, so
Mhm.
you'll put in your summary statistics, your X bar and your sample standard deviation, your sample size, and
Oh,
then
and your
you,
confidence level. Don't forget to set your
oh yeah,
confidence level because it's not 95, it's 99.
right, your confidence level. So you'll put those into the t-stats, one sample with summary, and
Mhm.
find that the same way we did the last one.
And so do it. Check your work. As a matter of fact, look, we're pausing. You're going to pause. We're not pausing. You're pausing the video, and then you're going to come back and we're going to do the last one. Okay, here we go. I think they're back.
Okay, good. All right. So let's look at this question here, where instead of being given summary statistics, I just have a list of data.
Okay.
Okay. So I can also do this in StatCrunch. Now I could go to summary stats and find the sample mean for this data and the sample standard deviation
Oh,
and the
yeah, we
sample
could.
size. We
Yeah.
could use summary stats, but it's a little more efficient if instead of using t-stats one sample with summary, I go to t-stats one sample with data.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what that list of data was in StatCrunch for. So let's see what that looks
Yeah.
like. Okay, so I can actually just,
Bye.
I know, I can actually just look at this list of data that I have in StatCrunch here. I type
Okay.
that in, and I
And I
can go,
can't see that whole list of data. It didn't show up.
I know that's because iPads are stupid.
Okay. Hmm.
It's fine. It'll be fine. But we're gonna go to t-stats and one sample, and then just
Mhm.
do with data instead of with summary.
Right.
And all I have to do there is select my column. So I'm going to select my column of data
Okay.
and
And then
then
we're
change the
gonna,
confidence level.
yeah, what was the confidence level for this one?
I think it was 90.
Okay. And then show critical value just in case we need it at some
So
point.
critical value. Right.
That's it, right?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
I get all that same information, right? I'm going to get my critical value. I'm going to get my lower limit, my upper limit, all the information that I need.
Okay.
Okay. Good. So there's a copy of those results there.
Okay.
And I can see that my confidence interval is going from 62 62.34
Huh?
for the lower limit,
Mm-hmm.
64.97 for the upper limit.
Right.
And that sample mean,
Right in the middle.
right in the middle, it actually gives me the sample mean there
Mm-hmm.
was 63.65.
Okay.
Okay.
And then the
So
interpretation. Oh, sorry.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say this was a sample of 15 eighth grade band students,
Mm-hmm.
um, and their heights. So the interpretation is that we are 90% confident the mean height for all eighth grade band students is between the limits of our interval, 62.34 and 64.97 inches.
Okay.
Okay. Were there more questions after this one?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Oh, there are.
yeah.
Sorry, guys, you don't get to leave.
That's okay. There's just a question about finding the margin of error and the point estimate. And that is also the same as the other question that we did.
Yeah.
Because we took either the upper minus the
Yeah.
lower
Mm-hmm.
bounds.
Divided by 2. The width divided by 2.
Yep.
Or
Or
we used that
like,
formula.
or
Yeah.
we can- yep. And you can either get the critical value for that formula, that 1.7613.
Mhm.
You can either use that, getting the using the T calculator. Okay.
Oh, yeah. What we did where the area in the middle is the confidence level.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We could do that.
Yeah, and this was a 90% confidence level, so I just put in the
Mm-hmm.
0.90.
Okay.
Okay. Or I selected show critical value, so that's already in
Oh,
results up
yeah.
here, right?
Yeah.
Critical T. Okay.
Yes. So we can do it that way. You can just select show critical value and it'll give it to you.
Yep.
Okie doke.
All right. Sounds good.
Think that's it. So let's scroll down and see.
Okay. I think that's it. Yep. That's it. I got nothing else.
Okay. See you
Okay.
next time.
Bye.